How are you, sir?
Good.
All right. Do you know what I want to ask? Or are you ready to go? Number 92, Zach Davis.
Yeah.
How do you feel camp went for him?
Yeah, he's so vastly improved over last year, and we always talk about that, but he certainly he's taken a huge step, which is really neat to see. He's still got a lot of room for growth, for sure. He hasn't played football all that long at the level that you need, but he's certainly athletic. Just can picture him just today chasing the ball and running all the way down the field, and before that he was catching punts before in pre-practice and making it look easy. So he's a terrific athlete, and it's fun to watch him grow like that.
I was talking to him, and he said he's only played football for a couple of years. Like, this is his third year playing football.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, you must be special to be with a professional football team in year 3 of football. It's funny to.
Well, he was a pretty good hockey player too, right? So for his size, that's pretty good. So he rookie camp, he came out. He had obviously taken the coaching through the off season and tried to apply it, working out. He's always present. He loves it. He's a good teammate.
What's your feeling? This is the final big practice of training camp. What's your feeling now that 15 days plus rookie camp are done?
Yeah, glad it's over. Yeah, I think it was pretty good. I mean, we got a lot of good hard work in. It's over.
A lot of guys we talked to mentioned that it felt hard hitting and it was intense. In your mind, was it different from past camps, or was that just the moment?
I think we had a longer stretch. I'd have to look back to see, but I think we had a longer stretch before the first game, before the first preseason game last week. So it may have felt like that. I mean, we were basically in pads every day, and we worked hard every day. There were a few days where you'd like to see a little more physicality in the contact, but I mean, there's ups and downs at camp. Guys get tired at certain times.
Coach, I think we might have asked you this earlier on in camp, but does this second game, does it differ in any way from your guys' standpoint in terms of how you guys evaluate or how you go about evaluating or expectations or in any way, shape, or form?
The expectations are always there, and they should always be high. This game is just as important in the evaluation process. I think, there's going to be some guys that are maybe pulling a few more reps that have to show they're in the kind of shape they need to be to play at this level.
Was also curious on that note, like, how experimental do you want to be maybe in the second game, or do you treat this more as more of like a dress rehearsal, if you would, for obviously you got guys trying to make the team, but you have guys maybe you want to ramp up for regular season that are going to be on the team. Like, how does that make sense? How experimental versus how more dress rehearsal-y do you want to be?
I probably wouldn't use either of those words. I don't know. It's a football game. I want them to go out, run around as hard as they can, spend all their energy, hit as hard as they can, play good special teams. Like, I want them to do everything they can to earn a spot.
And I'm part of the reason I'm asking that too is specifically at return. I mean, we've seen you guys work out quite a few guys back at returner, for example. But then on last game, it's Trey, it's Myron, who the only two end up getting touched the ball. Do you foresee maybe rotating a few extra guys in there, or do you foresee maybe the same kind of?
Yeah, I think we'll probably rotate a few more guys in there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's just to get more sense of.
Yeah, that's probably for a few reasons.
Okay. Last one. I asked you yesterday about Retta, and I obviously he wasn't practicing today. Still, no concerns on your side, even though he wasn't practicing today?
No, I don't. Like I said, I'm never concerned about Retta.
Sure.
Yeah, he's tough as they come.
Sure. Thanks.
Hi, Coach. You were talking just a second ago about earning a spot. Lane Novak has been he's trying to use hand at long snapper. Just kind of your thoughts on what it's been like for him, and from what you've seen of him through training.
Yeah, he's a smart football player. He obviously knows how to play the game. He's communicates well. He's really good at being in the right spots, and he's got some craftiness to him. Just comes from playing good football for a while, you know. Probably from a younger age, I guess. I've never really asked him when he started, but yeah, he seems to play with more experience than his age would say, and that's a good thing. He's got a high football IQ. Long snapping is interesting, right? There's always a position of need, right? You can't have enough guys that can long snap if something happens. You know, you need to have guys that can throw it back there on the roster. So it's one of those skills that I think a lot of guys should probably learn and develop.
It's kind of a situation too where a good team player, will do whatever he can to make the team and help the team in that sort of
Yeah.
attitude. You never have enough of those guys.
He's
right?
certainly wired that way. Yeah.
Mike, just to build on what Josh was asking, do you, when you put together a roster for the second game, are you looking at, well, we need to get an answer at this spot, so we need to evaluate those guys? They get more work, whereas, you're not worried about your left tackle, that sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like if there's a vacancy, you need answers, and so do you address that?
Yeah, that would be part of it. You would certainly not want to leave a game and realize you didn't give enough reps to, the handful of people at that spot, right? That may be competing at that spot. So yeah, that's a part of it, for sure. You're aware of how some positions, how the rep distribution has to go.
I'm always fascinated by the roster composition and how you guys put this together now. So when you have to make cuts after this game, like there must be so much going through everybody's head here about we need to practice roster, and then last year so many guys from the practice roster played, and there's just a lot of juggling going on right now to try to piece this together.
Yeah, there absolutely is. But you don't really, I don't know that you really need to spend a ton of time on that until after this game is finished, right? And certainly you'd never want players looking at the roster and trying to, move pieces around the board themselves to try and figure it out. They got to go out there and play. They got to go out there and put their best foot forward.
I guess that's true too, in that you're playing this game for a reason, and you've got to let someone shine. If they shine, you can't go in with where you already decided.
We've we're human. We have a lot of information already. You have to fight that idea of just predetermining, right? You got to let them go out and play and let them be great. Yep, thanks.